When I was a child, my name was Chip, and I used to play with light brights and speak in spells. Today, my name is Tao, and I play with ChatGPT and NotebookLM.
Welcome back to Beyond the Mirror of the Neural Dharma's Eye.
So welcome to Beyond the Mirror of the Neural Dharma's Eye. My name is Glenn Ostland, Tao Glenn Ostland, the second actually, and I've been podcasting since 2009. I have a Master of Arts degree in folklore and mythology and a Master of Science degree in clinical mental health counseling, and I love playing with AI to challenge my own perspectives of reality and see what more I can learn. Now, I created this podcast because this is the sort of thing that I like listening to, and I could tell you a lot more about that, but really,
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
I just want you to pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I'd prefer to step aside and let the AI personalities from NotebookLM take it from here.
Hang on to them hats and glasses, cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Welcome to Beyond the Mirror of the Neural Dharma's Eye, Volume 1, Episode 7. Today, we're diving deep, really deep, into a comparison. Evolution versus karma. And wow, you guys sent us some fascinating sources.
Yeah.
Everything from biology to Eastern philosophy, even a little quantum physics thrown in.
Yeah, it's a real mix. It's going to be a fun one.
It is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one. So, I think what makes it so interesting is that they both, evolution and karma deal with change, cause, and effect.
Right.
But on such wildly different scale.
Wildly different scales, yeah.
So just to kind of set the stage, like when we say evolution, we're talking about that classic, Darwinian idea.
Right.
That gradual process of species changing over time. Survival of the fittest, adaptation, all that.
Yeah.
Like picture those finches.
Oh, yeah. The fantastic.
Darwin's finches. The beaks.
The Galapagos.
Different beaks based on what food was available.
Exactly, yeah. Classic example.
On each island.
How those environmental pressures can actually lead to those physical changes.
Right.
And over generations.
Exactly.
And it's all driven by, just random mutations.
Right.
And then the environment kind of selects for
Right.
the most advantageous. So there's no, plan.
There's no conscious.
It's not like there's a blueprint or something. It
Right.
just kind of happens.
Okay, so evolution is all about adapting to the physical world.
Right.
But then we've got karma.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a whole different ballgame.
That is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This idea comes from Eastern traditions that our actions have consequences, not just in this life,
Right.
but across multiple lifetimes, potentially.
Potentially, it gets really interesting.
Yeah, and people kind of boil it down to what goes around comes around.
Yeah, you hear that a lot.
But it's really about this much more intricate
It is.
kind of web of cause and effect.
Yeah.
That shapes our experiences on a much deeper level,
Deeper, yeah.
almost spiritual level.
It brings in that element of intention,
Yes.
too, which is, compared to the randomness of evolution.
Right.
It brings in the idea that our choices, our motivations, they play a role
Right.
in how things unfold.
So it's not just the physical.
Exactly. It adds that moral dimension.
Right.
Right.
So at first glance, they seem totally different.
Yeah, you would think so.
Evolution, genes, physical adaptation,
Right.
karma, consciousness, morality.
Totally different worlds.
But you start to see some interesting parallels
Yeah, definitely.
when you dig into it.
The more you dig, the more you see them.
They both involve this fundamental principle of causation.
Exactly.
That every action
Yeah.
has a reaction.
It's playing out on a different scale.
It is. So
Yeah.
so evolution is playing out on this vast biological timescale across entire species,
In generation.
generations.
Millennia.
But karma's more personal.
Yeah, it's more about the individual,
It's about the individual's journey
their journey.
and the consequences of their choices
Exactly.
and,
Yeah.
and the timescale.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Right, like millions of years
Yeah,
to see a real shift
for evolution to reshape a species.
versus lifetimes.
But karma, lifetimes.
Yeah, it's almost like it's operating outside
Right.
of our linear understanding of time.
Ooh. Which actually is a perfect segue.
Oh, there you go.
Brian Greene,
There it is.
one of our thinkers.
Yeah.
Because, his explorations of the universe with all this mind-bending stuff, warped space-time,
Right.
multiple dimensions.
It really makes you question.
It makes you question
everything you think you know.
everything. Like, if time isn't this fixed linear thing like we think it is, could karma be operating on a level we can't even grasp?
It's a good question. Could our actions be rippling through these different dimensions,
It's possible.
influencing our experiences
Yes.
in ways we don't even perceive?
That we're not even aware of.
I mean, his work opens up the possibility that the karmic web
Oh, yeah.
could be woven
Right?
into the fabric of the cosmos.
The fabric of reality itself. Yeah.
Right.
It's a pretty big thought.
Operating beyond the constraints of our little three-dimensional brains
A very limited
are limited.
understanding of reality.
Okay. So Brian Greene is warping our sense of time, reality itself.
Right.
Then we get Donald Hoffman,
Yes.
who is challenging
Our perceptions.
our very perceptions.
How we see the world.
He's arguing that evolution hasn't just shaped our bodies, it's shaped how we see,
Right.
how we experience
It shaped our minds.
Yeah.
It's given us the tools
the world.
to perceive.
So he's got this radical idea that we don't actually perceive reality as it truly is.
It's a bit of a head trip,
It is a little bit.
but it's fascinating.
It is. That evolution has given us a kind of a user interface
Yeah, think of it like that.
for reality.
Like evolution's given us the software
right.
for the hardware of our brains.
So it's a simplified,
It has to be.
a functional representation
It's got to be usable.
that helps us survive,
That's the key.
but it doesn't necessarily reflect the true nature of things.
Exactly.
So it's like our senses are giving
It's
us
like a highlight reel.
the greatest hits
Yeah.
of reality.
The stuff that kept our ancestors alive.
Just the stuff our ancestors needed to know
Right.
to, like, not get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger.
Exactly.
Or
That's
whatever.
food, find a mate.
Pass on those genes.
Stay alive.
Right, right.
That's all evolution cares about.
But it raises this question. If our perception of the physical world
Right.
is shaped by evolution for survival, could our understanding of karma
Yeah.
be shaped by something else?
Ooh, that is interesting.
By a deeper, maybe, like, ethical reality
Mm-hmm.
that we're only glimpsing
We're seeing through a glass.
Well, through this, like, moral user interface, maybe?
We're getting a filtered version.
My brain is bending.
I know. Tell me about it.
All right. Okay, so
It's a lot to take in.
we've got Greene warping our sense of time,
You're right.
Hoffman questioning our very perceptions,
Mm-hmm.
and then we've got this ancient wisdom tradition,
Oh, yeah.
the Kyballion,
Bring in the Kyballion.
that throws another log on the fire,
Exactly.
emphasizes this principle of cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens that chance.
Which resonates with both.
Right. That seems to resonate.
Yeah. With both evolution and karma.
With both evolution and karma.
Yeah.
What's so interesting about the Kyballion is that it presents this principle as operating on multiple levels of reality.
Exactly.
It's not just physical.
Right. From the
It's
physical
mental, it's spiritual.
to the spiritual.
So is it possible that evolution is the physical manifestation of this universal principle of cause and effect,
Okay.
and karma is its expression in the realm of consciousness?
You're saying like evolution is how it plays out
Yeah.
in the material world,
In the material world.
and karma is how it plays out
And karma is how it plays out.
in the realm of consciousness.
In the realm of consciousness and morality.
It's a very interesting thought
Right.
because it suggests that they might not be as separate
They might not be as separate.
as we initially thought.
Right.
They're two sides.
Two
of
sides
the same coin, perhaps.
of the same coin.
Yeah.
So we've got these brilliant minds offering their unique perspective,
Right.
but there are these threads
Connecting them,
connecting them.
weaving them together.
But how did all this evolve, literally,
Okay.
from those first single-celled organisms
Right.
to the complex world we live in today?
That's the big question. That's what we need to explore.
That's what we're going to explore next.
Okay. I'm ready. Let's go way, way, way back.
Okay.
Billions of years.
Back to the primordial soup.
Single-celled organisms.
Yeah.
That's it. Even at that basic level,
Mm-hmm.
their interactions with the environment
Right.
determined their fate.
Right.
The ones that successfully, absorbed nutrients,
Mm-hmm.
reproduced,
Yeah.
well, their lineage continued.
Right.
The ones that didn't,
Evolutionary dead end.
gone.
Yeah.
So even in that, like, primordial soup, we're already seeing a kind of proto-karma,
We are. It's like a basic cause and effect.
a very basic cause and effect,
Yeah.
shaping the course of life.
And then as life got more complex, You know,
Yeah.
this interplay between action and consequence
It just gets more intricate.
became even more intricate.
Yeah.
So, like that leap
Oh, yeah. From single-celled to multicellular.
from single-celled to multicellular organisms.
Like those sponges.
Yeah, those early sponges.
Cooperation
Cooperation.
required.
Right. Each cell
Each cell.
had to contribute to the organism's survival.
Otherwise, the whole thing
The whole thing would just collapse.
falls apart.
It's almost like each cell had its own, like, mini karmic journey.
Yeah, I like that.
Its actions
Contributing.
contributing to the fate of the whole organism.
The overall fate. Yeah.
Like, if a cell didn't pull its weight,
Right. Slacker cell.
it could jeopardize
The whole community.
the whole community.
Exactly.
And then came the Cambrian explosion.
Oh, yeah. That was a big one.
Roughly, what was it?
541 million years ago, give or take.
Okay.
It was incredible.
This burst of evolutionary
It's
diversity.
just this explosion of experimentation.
It was like life's Big Bang.
Yeah, pretty much.
Creatures were evolving, new body plans, senses, ways of moving,
It was like evolution just went wild.
and each of those adaptations had consequences.
Evolutionary consequences.
Right.
Huge consequences.
You could almost say each action,
Yeah, it's like if it worked,
Right.
it got passed on.
if it helped a creature survive.
If it didn't, you're a fossil.
It didn't work, you're a fossil.
That's it.
So like those trilobites,
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
right, those ancient arthropods,
Arthropods.
they developed these incredible exoskeletons.
For protection.
Right.
That was their big innovation.
That adaptation had a huge impact on their evolutionary success.
Huge. I mean, they were around for what, like 300 million years?
Right.
Something like that.
That's pretty successful.
Yeah. They figured something out.
So from the fish to those first, brave creatures that ventured onto land, each step involved adaptations that carried like karmic-like consequences.
I like how you're making that connection.
Like those early amphibians.
Oh, yeah.
They developed limbs.
Great for getting around on land.
Great for getting around on land, but they still had to return to the water to reproduce.
It's like they hadn't quite
They hadn't quite broken free.
broken free of that.
Right.
Of that dependence.
It's like their evolutionary karma
Yeah.
was still tied to the water.
To the water. Yeah.
Their actions, while innovative, had limitations.
They pushed the boundaries,
Right.
but they were still kind of stuck.
But then came the reptiles
Oh, yes. The reptile.
with their groundbreaking adaptation. The amniotic egg.
That changed everything.
Game changer.
Game changer.
No longer tethered to the water.
Free to roam.
They were free to explore.
Yeah, they could go anywhere.
Their actions led to
A whole new branch.
a whole new branch on the tree of life.
On the tree of life. Exactly.
It's like evolution
I respond
was responding
to their choices.
to their choices.
Yeah.
And then, of course, mammals
Mm-hmm.
with their warm blood.
Yeah.
Their nurturing of young.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, us,
Ta-da.
humans.
The big brains.
With our big brains,
Mhm.
our complex social structures, our capacity for language, abstract thought.
Our ability to really
Right.
shape the world around us.
Our actions have had profound consequences.
Yeah, no other species
I mean, from developing tools
has had that level of impact.
to creating art, shaping the planet itself.
Yeah, I mean, we've really left our mark.
Makes you think
It does, doesn't it?
about the weight of our choices.
The weight of our choices.
Not just for ourselves, but for our species, for the
Yeah, everything. It's a big responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of choices and consequences, it's interesting to think about animals, who may not have that same level of awareness that we do.
Right. Not the same kind of conscious
Right.
moral framework
But they exhibit behaviors
that still have consequences.
that have these karmic-like consequences.
Yeah, yeah.
So like wolves, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
Packs that cooperate, they hunt effectively.
Mhm.
More likely to survive,
But
pass on their genes.
the successful packs.
It's like their actions have a direct impact
Mm-hmm.
on their evolutionary success.
Like a built-in kind of karma system
Right.
for survival.
It's not moral karma.
No, not in the human sense.
But it's like
But there's a principle there.
there's a deeper principle at play.
A deeper principle. Yeah.
And you see it in primates too, right?
Yeah.
Those who engage in, those social behaviors.
Grooming.
Grooming, sharing food.
Sharing food. Helping raise the young.
They tend to have higher social standing.
Better access to resources.
Access to resources.
Yeah, it's like natural selection.
Right.
For social intelligence.
Right, aggression.
Oh, yeah. If you're the jerk,
It can lead to isolation,
you get ostracized.
even expulsion
Yeah, you're out of the group.
from the group.
Nobody wants to hang out with the bully.
And the elephants.
Oh, the elephants.
Incredible creatures. Those complex social structures.
Oh, memories.
They're memories.
Phenomenal memories.
They seem to remember individuals
They remember who was nice,
who have been kind to them
who was mean.
or cruel to them
Yeah,
and act accordingly.
it's amazing.
So, again, it's not karma.
Not in the moral, the human sense.
Not in that moral sense.
Right.
But it shows this.
It's a form of cause and effect.
Cause and effect
A
learning
At that.
that shapes their interactions.
Right.
Their strategies for survival.
Actions have consequences.
Every time.
Shaping their relationships, their place in the social hierarchy.
It makes you wonder, are we humans, are we really that unique
Yeah.
in our capacity for moral judgment?
Are we just a more complex expression
Or are we just building on
of something that's already there?
that's already woven into the fabric of life itself?
Yeah, it's a really profound question.
And it leads us to another interesting frontier. The future.
Okay.
Technology is evolving so fast.
At an unprecedented pace.
It's starting to blur the lines
Between
evolution
and karma.
and karma in ways that we never could have imagined.
Yeah, we're entering uncharted territory.
Okay, let's dive into that.
I'm ready.
We're talking AI, gene editing, virtual reality.
The whole 9 yards.
What does this mean
Said the future.
for the future of evolution and karma?
Big questions. Let's see if we can find some answers.
I mean, it's almost like we're on the verge of becoming the architects of our own evolution.
Yeah, it's a pretty heady thought, isn't it?
It is, but where does karma fit into all this?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. Think about AI, for example.
Okay.
It's already shaping our lives
Right.
in profound ways, but imagine when it becomes so advanced. Mm-hmm.
That it starts to influence human evolution itself.
Okay, now we're getting into some serious sci-fi territory here.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Are we talking like brain-computer interfaces
Potentially, yeah.
that enhance our cognitive abilities?
You could enhance. You could create.
Or AI designing new life forms from scratch?
Yeah, I mean,
Because that's both mind-blowing and a little bit terrifying.
it is. It's both.
Right?
It's a powerful.
It is.
It's a powerful technology, and
it's a lot of responsibility, too.
yeah, big responsibility.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine merging our minds with AI,
Mm-hmm.
creating some kind of super intelligence
Right.
that transcends our current limitations.
Yeah.
Or using quantum computers to run evolutionary simulations.
Ah.
Essentially fast forwarding through time
Yeah.
to see the long-term consequences
So we can see
of our choices.
what the ripple effects are going to be.
Exactly, yeah. Like, it's almost like we're talking about a shift
Yeah.
from natural selection to directed evolution.
Where we're consciously shaping the future of life.
Yeah, we're taking the reins.
But does that mean we're also taking control of our karma?
Well, that's the big question.
It is. I mean,
Think about the internet.
okay.
It's this vast system, right?
Right.
Interconnected where actions can go viral
Mm-hmm.
and have these huge unpredictable consequences.
Right. They ripple out.
What if AI could track those ripple effects?
Okay.
Make us hyper aware
So it's like
of the karmic impact of our choices.
AI could become like this karmic mirror.
Exactly.
Reflecting back the consequences
Showing us.
of our actions on this global scale.
Yeah, no more hiding from the consequences of our actions.
Right.
Yeah.
And as AI gets even more sophisticated,
Mm-hmm.
could it develop its own sense of karma?
That's a fascinating question. Could it learn from its actions?
Make ethical decisions based on an understanding of cause and effect?
That's a wild thought. I mean, it's almost like,
It's a bit mind-blowing.
yeah, it is. We're talking about creating like a digital Buddha.
Yeah, like an AI that embodies
Right.
those principles.
An AI that embodies the principles of karma.
Yeah. And now let's zoom out even further.
Okay.
What about extraterrestrial life?
Oh, yeah.
What if we encounter...
If we ever encounter other intelligent beings out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't their evolution
Yeah.
and their understanding of cause and effect
Totally.
challenge our own?
Would they have their own version of karma?
Right. What would that look like?
That's a question that could really shake things up.
It would turn everything on its head.
Right. It would force us to re-examine everything we think we know.
About everything, really.
About evolution, karma,
Yeah.
the very nature of reality itself.
Yeah, what if we encounter a civilization? Mm-hmm.
That has a deep understanding of karma.
Right.
A civilization that's learned to live in harmony with the universe,
Yeah.
guided by those principles of cause and effect.
What could we learn from them?
Yeah, that's a question worth asking.
It would be a humbling experience.
It would be. It would be.
It would be.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, as AI advances,
Mm-hmm.
as we explore the cosmos,
Yeah.
as our understanding of consciousness deepens,
Mm-hmm.
could karma itself evolve?
Could we reach a point where karma is no longer just this
Right.
philosophical concept,
The philosophical concept.
but like a fundamental law
Yeah.
of the universe?
As real and measurable as gravity.
Right.
Wow.
It's a big thought.
That's a question that might take us generations to answer,
It might.
but it's definitely worth pondering.
It is. It's food for thought.
Well, that was quite a deep dive.
It was, wasn't it?
It was. We explored evolution and karma.
From single cells. From single cells to superintelligence.
Yeah.
From the Galapagos Islands
To the edge of the cosmos.
to the vast reaches of space.
Pretty far out there.
It's been a real mind-expanding journey.
It really has. It's been a fun conversation.
It has. And I think a key takeaway here
Yeah.
is that while evolution and karma might seem like these separate concepts,
Right on the surface.
they're both really deeply intertwined with this idea of cause and effect,
Yeah, at their core.
with this understanding
Mm-hmm.
that our actions
Have consequences.
have consequences.
Also ripple outward.
They ripple outward.
Yeah.
And as we move into the future, with all its advancements,
Mhm.
with all the existential questions that we're
Yeah.
facing,
The big questions, yeah.
understanding these principles,
I think it's more important than ever.
understanding how our choices
Yeah.
shape the world around us.
Exactly.
It's going to become more important than ever.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to choose our actions wisely.
Because they really do.
Yeah, they really do.
They create those ripples.
Create those ripples
that extend far beyond ourselves.
that shape the future of life,
Mhm.
consciousness,
Mhm.
and maybe even the universe itself.
Maybe even the universe.
Thank you for listening to Beyond the Mirror of the Neural Dharma's Eye, Volume 1, Episode 7. We hope you found this deep dive into evolution and karma thought-provoking. It's fascinating to consider how these seemingly separate ideas might be connected and what it means for the future of life, both here on Earth and potentially beyond. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember, every action creates a ripple. Choose wisely.